Well, hello there, humans, bees, earthlings, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and if you're lucky enough indeed to be doing it too. I'm Bushka on Blitz. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, aren't you a lucky duck? And if it's not, then congratulations, you've found a little bit of tanking justice, and will probably enjoy many sleepless nights as you wait up for the next video to drop. It's probably a lie. In fact, I'm 100% certain that's a lie. This is the Bat Chat, and I'm going to show you a couple of games in the Bat Chat and then one game in the Object 263. Just by the way, if you are playing PUBG Mobile at the moment as well, and you're wondering if I do any PUBG Mobile content, well, I got about 4,000 PUBG Mobile subs on a channel called The Bushka. So go and check that out. Now, this is a juxtaposition. There's two videos of playing this tank on the razor's edge and one video of Stalin-esque Iron Fist tanking. But today I'm going to show you two really important things. One of them is playing in pockets. Playing in shoeboxes, basically, with tanks that are super fragile and have such a slim margin of error that you really have to be super aware. And number two is just how you can play the Bat Chat in a successful manner. Like you can see here, the setup is beautiful from Luggage Slavin, who's been on channel before, by the way. It's a very good player, the Luggage. And he's in a predominantly high volume, high traffic area in a horrible tank. He's got a grill to his left. He's got a 183 over the other side of the map. All these are tanks that will absolutely eviscerate him with high explosive rounds if they get a shot at him. And what he's doing is very much light tank mantra 101. You can't be hit if you can't be seen. And one of the values of light tanks over the course of the game has always been their ability to have on-the-move camouflage. Now, there was a big furor and controversy led by some bloke who's a YouTuber. I don't know his name, possibly Bushka, that when the Bat Chat didn't get light tank camo when it was first introduced, and it suffered tremendously for it. Wargaming has since changed their minds about that, and they've changed it to on-the-move camouflage to keep it in line with pretty much every other light tank in the history of the game. And that's made for some really interesting and intricate gameplay styles, as you can see here. My good mate in the Bat Chat here has hidden himself up the back, and yet he still put effective fire in. Now, it takes two things to be like that and to actually do this successfully. One is you have to have a good knowledge of the game mechanics. You have to know about the rules of spotting and how people are able to use the minimap and make a guess as to where you are and actually where your least likely avenue of receiving fire is from and all that kind of stuff. And the other one is you've got to be able to drive a tank that is physically small enough to hide. And the Bat Chat, when driven by an experienced driver, is just that. If you haven't watched my masterclass series with Vovko, featuring him driving the Bat Chat, go and have a look at that for a guy that absolutely wrings the most out of his tank. And it's not because he has the best stats. He doesn't. It's not that. They're very, very good stats. I'm not... Vov, if you're watching, I love you. It's not that at all. It's because he actually experiments with the tank. He freestyles with the tank. He drags it all over the place to odd areas and charges the hill on mines in the Bat Chat against multiple mediums and tries to drive up mountains so he can get shots off the side so that he can actually find positions that are interesting to play in. And the Bat Chat allows a degree of creativity like that, just like the Type 62 Dragon or the VK2801 or the LTTB or any of those tanks actually allow the same kind of idea. The reason I find the Bat Chat and the 25 TAP version of the Bat Chatillon so engaging is because when you have this tank in a situation like we're in here, you're in a tier 10 game. And the guns at tier 10 are just so much more intimidating and so much more unforgiving. You can get hit for a one-shot by a KV2, but that's about it when you're in a VK2801. Apart from that, unless you're in a tier 7 game and you've got SU-152s everywhere, you really don't have the same degree of pain coming your way. But in this game, that's absolutely the case. Watch how my good mate Shug here uses the terrain and doesn't back off. He's super aggressive here. He's playing this in a pocket. he's getting below the gun line to get shots off and then reversing immediately. So all that E25 and Borsig get to see is his turret going backwards. And he's trying to bait shots out. He's going to no scope so that he doesn't have to worry too much about actually getting hit. And he's getting a full clip out within proximity of 2 tanks, one of whom has a 150mm gun. And then he's rolling around again and using the ability of the tank to flank incredibly quickly to put shots in this waffle tractor before the E75 can get to grips with him on the other side, because he saw him fire and he understands game mechanics and he understands that the reload is real. And he's doing all this in absolute shouting distance of these 2 tanks that can both tear him a new butthole with a HE round. That's a big gun there for that. That can hit him for 600 quite comfortably, that E75. And the waffle tractor can hit him for 1,000 quite comfortably. So when I first saw this video, I thought he was just being incredibly lucky. But when I watched it back, I realized he was using game mechanics to a T. And again, you're going to see, look at the angle on the upper plate here as he rolls out. He gets it, doesn't expose himself. He goes for the opportunity shot, but he doesn't do it in a position where he's going to take on any risk. He's like an actuary in a bat chat. And if you don't know what those is, boys and girls, it's something an insurance company employs to assess risk, put a number on a premium, that kind of stuff. And that's exactly what Sug is doing. He's assessing the risk of any given situation and reacting accordingly. So he moves all the way to the other side of the map, but he doesn't actually stop putting fire in. And then once he misses that shot, he's off again. And they're chasing him because it's 1 on 3. They're 880 on the actual cap count. And here we go. He's still moving. All those hit points he didn't blow before are hit points that he's using now to stay alive and try and win the game. And he's going to do very, very well. He gets the 1 shot on the T-54E1. He's got 2 left in the clip. And he's just going to try and draw this one out. He only needs another 45 cap points. And he gets the win. Look at the speed of this tank. Just absolutely cruising through. And he goes side on. Gets a clutch bounce. But deserves it. Absolutely deserves it. Back to 960. He needs to get a kill. This is about playing the tank in the pocket. This is about knowing the limitations of your vehicle. There's your kill. There's your win. Absolutely super deserved. Really, really impressive. 5,447 damage. Kolobanov, high caliber, top gun, mastery badge, 1,702 XP. And he wasn't doing, hanging at the back, doing nothing. He was getting up close and personal. Then we get, after all that razor's edge tanking, after all that, this is like the assassin's rapier-like blade, the thief in the night, the sneaky person running around doing the business. And then you get this. This is Stalin's chosen implement of death and destruction in terms of tanking. This is the Object 263, and it is called the YOLO wagon. And I just had to include this for the ultimate in light and darkness. You've got the shade of the soft muted tones of the Batchat versus the big guns of the game, and then you have the crazy, super hyper aggressive play of the Object 263, absolutely dominating and devastating. And even though you can see here, my amigo Twisted Joker is already 1,200 hit points down, he is yet to press the runaway button even a little bit. He is in fact doubling down every step of the way and driving forward and hitting that button. And my boys, my girls, my friends, my humans, my amigos, this is one of the reasons why this tank is so loved amongst those of us who have to just get out and have a little bit of a crack. It is the YOLO wagon. It is so fast. It has this weird armor profile where it is like a zero-sum equation. Either you get hit for massive damage because they pen you every time, or you bounce monstrously ridiculous large amounts of shots and then dominate and devastate. Look at this thing. He has not stopped driving forward. He has just kept driving forward and pressing the button. Even when a smarter human would have pulled back, he has got 6 kills and has deserved every one of them. And he's finishing it up by driving forward as fast and hard as he can and smashing that button for a 7-kill tier 10 Wraths in the 263 at light speed. What an absolutely monstrous performance. And that is the real juxtaposition between the Batchat and the way you drive that and the way you drive just a hell-on-wheels tank like a 263 or a 268 or an IS-7 or one of those guys, which all, by no surprise, are Russian. I hope you enjoyed that. The light, the shade, the Travelling Riverside Blues versus the hats off Ingwe Malmsteen scream of World of Tanks Blitz. I'm Bushka. Enjoy yourselves. Look after your humans. Stay safe on the battlefield. And why not go and subscribe and follow my PUBG mobile page, The Bushka. Until next time, bye for now.